Kamala Harris for President campaign actually held a real event called, wait for it, White Women for Harris. And it was hosted by the whitest woman on the planet. No, not Dylan Mulvaney. This chick.
Hi, everybody. I am so honored to speak today. I am shaking to just be among such incredible company. We are here because, as if you were here earlier, you've heard BIPOC women have tapped us in as white women to step up, listen, and get involved this election season.
Her name is Ariel Fodor, and she's there because the Kamala Harris campaign has reached out to white women like her. They've stepped up and they've said, hey, white women, get in here and help us win this election. And so that's what she's doing. She's trying to get other white women to help win this election for Kamala Harris because the Gen Z vote ain't going to do it. And there's only so many drag queens you can pander to.
This is a really important time, and we all need to use our voices and influence for the greater good. No matter who you are all influencers in some way. So tonight, I'm going to share some do's and don'ts for getting involved in politics online and navigating the toxicity that comes with it. And spoiler alert, as much as the toxicity can come from the outside, it can come from us too.
This is one of my favorite things I've ever watched. I'm going to inspire all you white women who aren't involved in politics because it's toxic to get involved in politics and navigate the toxicity. You're all influencers. I'm going to teach you how to get on X and get on Facebook and talk politics and help Kamala win and promote the socialist agenda. We're going to do all of that and we're going to navigate the toxicity. But here's the best part. Spoiler alert. The toxicity doesn't always come from outside. Sometimes the toxicity comes from you. That's right, white women. You may or may not know this, but you are toxic. White women are toxic. Toxic individual. The toxicity, it's not coming from the Republicans. It's not coming from the men. It's not coming from the other side. It's not coming from Donald Trump. It's not coming from MAGA. Sometimes the toxicity comes from you. And I'm going to help you navigate your own toxicity. You're welcome.
So first, don't isolate yourself. We can do our best work when we're in community together like we are tonight, because the toxic feels smaller when we support each other. But don't make it about yourself. As white women, we need to use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead, we can put our listening ears on.
I thought this was a Saturday Night Live skit. I thought this was very reminiscent of like the NPR, the sweaty balls and that kind of stuff. If you find yourself talking over or God forbid correcting a BIPOC woman, just take a beat. It's not the end. Just don't make it about yourself. Why is correcting a BIPOC woman wrong? What if the BIPOC woman is wrong? Are you not supposed to correct them? What if the BIPOC woman says something like, oh, Kamala Harris is a shoo-in? Are you not supposed to correct her and say, let me explain to you how these pesky elections work? Put on your listening ears. What this woman is treating these other women, this white woman is treating the other white women for Harris like they're 5-year-olds, like they're white girls for Harris. And then she wraps it up the way you would pretty much think she would.
Do learn from and amplify the voices of those who have been historically marginalized and use the privilege you have in order to push for systemic change. As white people, we have a lot to learn and unlearn. So do check your blind spots. You are responsible for your algorithm, believe it or not.
As white women, we have a lot to learn and unlearn. That's the white privilege mantra. If you're one of these white privilege people, then that's your mantra. I've got so much to learn and also unlearn. I need to realize that I am responsible for my own algorithm. This is clearly a woman who spends way too much of her life on Instagram. This is a woman who needs to put her cell phone down. She's making way too many stories about mom's night out. This is a woman who is on TikTok way too much looking for OOTDs, because if you start telling people you are responsible for your own algorithm, you have so many problems, the most of which is you are clearly addicted to social media, and the least of which is you are just a really unlikable and unpleasant person. You're right. You got a lot to learn and unlearn.
As white people, we have a lot to learn and unlearn.
You know what? I'm just going to end it there.